What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name is Nicole and I'm a person in recovery. Today we're going to talk about hallucinations. That's right, all the hallucinations I had while I was high on drugs, and I'm going to share with you guys the different hallucinations that I have and how the experience was. So, most of the time I hallucinated, it was because I was high on methamphetamine and had been up for so many days without sleep. Sleep deprivation. So, one in particular time was this time that I had been up for about 5 days. I was in Southwest Little Rock and I was staying at my friend's trailer. We were also injecting Roxy's. So I want you guys to close your eyes and I want to take you back to this time in this trailer. I want you to picture a trailer that is dilapidated. It's falling apart. There's no food in the house. We barely have bottles of water to use to shoot up with, okay? It's just disgusting. In this back room, we would all sit. There was a recliner, a couch, and a TV on the wall, and we would sit and bang Roxy's and meth all day long and just chill back there, right? And so I had been doing that for a couple of days, and I had gotten to the point where I was really hallucinating. The way my hallucinations would go was 9 times out of 10, I would hallucinate people from my real life. People that I worked with, people that I knew. And so at this time, I had been running around with this guy named Joe. We had dated a little bit off and on, and then he got tired of my shenanigans and my crazy, come here, Paco, come here, my crazy methed out ways. And so he kind of separated himself from me because he was tired of my bullshit. But I kept hallucinating that he was going to come and pick me up from this house, right? I kept calling him in real life over and over again and asking him to come get me. Well, it had gotten really late, and it was like 1 a.m. And I had called him and I was like, come here, Onyx. I was like, come get me. And he was like, okay, I'll come and get you. And so then I went and I started doing other things around the house, and I went to my friend Gerald and I was like, hey, Gerald, come here. Come here, Onyx, come here. I want to show y'all Onyx while he's in here. Come here, baby. Come here. I was like, he's going to sit by me while I tell this story to you guys. Let me show y'all. This is Onyx. Say hi. Say hi. Paco, do you want to say hi too? Paco. Say, dog cam. Okay. So, Onyx ran away. So anyways, sit down, Paco, and let me tell a story about me hallucinating. So, I had told him, like, come get me. I really need to get out of here. Like, I'm tripping. And so he was like, yeah, I'll come get you. I was like, okay. So I went around the house and I started doing just other things, hallucinating and all that bullshit. Well, I guess he had tried to come get me and I wouldn't come out of the trailer. So I went to my friend Gerald and I was like, man, I really need to go to sleep. Like, I'm struggling. I'm seeing shit that's not there. I had been staring at this vent for like 6 hours and I thought Cy from Duck Dynasty was coming out of this vent. It was bad, you guys. And so he gave me a half of a Seroquel. And I took that Seroquel and I went to go lay down. And let me just tell you, taking a Seroquel after you've been up for 5 days and you're hallucinating already, it only intensifies your hallucinations, and that's what happened to me. I walked outside of the trailer at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I started walking down the street. And when I tell you guys that I was not afraid to be out at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I was not worried about what was going to happen to me in reality. I was worried about what was going to happen to me in my hallucinations. I was seeing people that weren't there. I was seeing my boss from Kroger. I was seeing the police, and that's when I walked up on this house and I saw all these weed brownies scattered all over this lady's house. And so I was like, oh my God, I have got to clean that off so she doesn't go to jail. And so I walked over to this lady's porch and I just started scrubbing her porch off with a stick, trying to get these weed brownies to go away. And that's when she called the police on me. She called the police on me because I scared the living bejesus out of her, okay? The police came and I was ducking and dodging, you guys. I was like, holy shit, they're trying to shoot me. That's what they're trying to do. They want to kill me. And that's what I really thought was happening. I thought that the police were trying to kill me. They weren't. They were trying to help me. And this hallucination only got worse. After I got into the ambulance, I was seeing the ambulance driver trying to inject me with cocaine. Then they took me to the hospital. Then I was in the ER looking at the walls, seeing frogs, seeing Miss Frida and Miss Marva from my job smoking crack and blowing it under the door to me. It was bad. And that's how I went into a coma for 7 days, because they injected me with Thorazine and Halidol. They were trying to help me to come down and go to sleep, and I ended up going into a coma. That was probably the scariest hallucination I've ever had in my whole entire life, because it almost killed me. I almost died because I was just losing my mind. Well, another time that I hallucinated, again, I had been up for over 3 days, was at my friend Tara's house. I was hallucinating in her daughter's bedroom. I was laying in her daughter's little bed, and I looked out the window, and I kept seeing this man that was popping his head up in the window, and then he would pop it back down, and then he would pop it up, and he would pop it back down. When I tell you that this man would not leave me alone, I kept running out of Tara's daughter's room and saying, "There's this man, he won't leave me alone." And she would come out there, she would look out the window, nobody was there. She even got to a point where she walked me around the whole house, right, to show me no one was there. Well, you guys, when you're hallucinating and you've been up for so many days without sleep, somebody can show you that there's nothing there, but you're still going to think something's there, because your reality and what's going on in the real world and what's going on in your head, it starts like intertwining itself. And so it's almost like impossible to snap out of it. The only way to get out of it is to go to sleep and rest. The hallucinations become so vivid and so real that I questioned my own sanity. Another time that I hallucinated when I was walking down the street. I was walking down the street because I had been in the hospital. I overdosed on Roxy's and Xanax, and I had been up on methamphetamine. I left the hospital AMA. I had flip-flops on and a pair of boxers with a t-shirt. I was walking down Markham Avenue, and every car that passed me by was yelling at me and propositioning me for sex. They weren't, but I was hallucinating that they were. So I got a stick off the side of the road, and I started waving it and flailing it back and forth, telling these men to stop asking me for sex, that I wasn't a prostitute. That was bad. I walked all the way down to my job, Kroger, and I went upstairs and I got on the phone and I called my sponsor, Robin, and asked her to come pick me up because I was hallucinating and I was going to die. I was going to end up jumping out in front of a car and killing myself because I kept thinking these people were trying to ask me for sex. Another time that I hallucinated really, really bad was a time that I was at my parents' house. I was at my parents' house and I was in my childhood bedroom. For those of you guys that don't know this, my mom is like really spiritual. Anytime I would get high, she would always pray over me and ask God to protect me and just to get rid of to rebuke the devil in the name of Jesus from me. Well, she had done that night, and I stayed in my bedroom, and that's when I started hallucinating demons and gremlins all over the floor, coming out from underneath my bed, in the corner of my bedroom, looking at me. They looked like this, with these ears like this, with beady red eyes, and it was scaring me so bad. I got out of my bed, I went into my sister Michelle's room, and I woke her up. And I was like, "Michelle, please come in here and look. You've got to see this. The devil, he's attacking me, and he's coming for me." And my sister knew I was high. She's like, "Nichole, nobody's there. Nobody's there." Well, she comes in my bedroom and she walks me around the bedroom and she's like, "See, no one's here. Everything's going to be okay, right?" Well, I took a whole bunch of methadone and I went to lay down. Well, I didn't lay down. I fucking sat straight up in my bed and my eyes rolled back in my head. All you could see was the whites of my eyes, right? My hair was like this. It was about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Whites of my eyes are showing. My hair's like this. And my sister walks in there and she screams, "Ah! Mom, Nichole is possessed. Nichole has been possessed." Sorry, Paco. See you later. Nicole's been possessed. So my mom runs in there and sees me, my eyes rolled back in my head because I'm high on methadone and I'm tweaking on my balls off on meth, but I'm like nodding, right? And so my mom starts praying for me, rebuking the devil in the name of Jesus. And I remember like waking up and being like, I'm fine. Like, and my mom was so pissed because she was like, Nichole, you are never going to get better. You're just going to sit here and scare our family and cause us harm. And they told me, don't do this again. Shut my door, yelled at me to go to sleep, and left the room. Well, needless to say, I didn't fall asleep. You know, those fucking little demons I was seeing, I will never forget it because it was so scary, you guys. But, you know, these hallucinations, they're so real. Like I said, they're so real because for me, parts of my real life would start incorporating with those hallucinations. So I hope this helps you guys understand a little bit more about hallucinating high on methamphetamine without any sleep. If you have any questions, just ask me. And yeah, I have so many more hallucinations I could tell you guys about, but they're all the same. They're all hallucinations, and they're all because I was high and sleep deprived.